Regular season for the 2025 season is complete. Championship week is complete. We got our conference championship winners, we got our conference championship losers, and we got our 12-team playoff bracket. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we do, I want to thank everybody that has supported this channel. We're at 872 subscribers, 128 more subscribers to go before I hit 1,000 men. That's big. So once again, thank you guys for all the support and everybody that actually gets into the comments and voices their opinion about whatever it is, whether you agree or disagree, that's fine. Um, I try to get into the comments and reply to as many as possible. You guys know that because you guys have been rocking with me for a very long time, and I definitely appreciate it. Now, let's go ahead and get into this video. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It doesn't hurt. It does help the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. Just go ahead and do that for me, man. Let's get into this last week, which was championship week. And we're going to start with the American Championship. North Texas played Tulane. North Texas, historic season, loses to Tulane 34-21, even though they have lost their head coach, Eric Morris. He is going on to Oklahoma State. Congratulations to North Texas. Hell of a season. They are actually right down the road from me. A couple of years ago, I went with a buddy of mine. His son was playing wide receiver at North Texas, so he had some tickets, and I went out there to check it out with him. And I really enjoyed it. I'm sure the atmosphere then wasn't as electric as it was this year because this was just an awesome season by Eric Morris and what that staff was able to accomplish at the University of North Texas. But Tulane wins this game. North Texas struck on their first opening drive, ended in a touchdown pass. All right. They go up 7-0. Tulane responded immediately. Quarterback Jake Retzlaff ran for a short touchdown to tie the game up 7-7. And then from there, Tulane just took over, man. Strong second quarter by them. Dominant defense. They ended up 24-7 by halftime. On the night, Tulane forced 5 turnovers. That ended up being the deciding factor for the game. Tulane claims the American Conference crown, and thanks to their ranking and overall resume, they will get into the college football playoffs. They will be going into the playoffs in the first round to play Ole Miss, and then the winner of that game will go on to play Georgia. This is a tall task for Tulane. But this is football. Ole Miss is without Lane Kiffin. Even though Tulane lost their head coach, John Summerall, he's going on to Florida. He still coached Tulane in this game, and he will coach them in their college football playoff in the first round against Ole Miss. They have a chance. Ole Miss's Jimmys are better than Tulane's Joes, but that doesn't matter. When you have good coaching and your coach can out scheme the other coach, anything can happen. Indiana just beat Ohio State, and they don't have the same Jimmys and Joes that they do. So anything can happen in this game. For North Texas, I mean, it's a disappointing end to their season, but congratulations, you had a hell of a run, 11-1. And unless you get a new coach that is just as good, it's probably back to the back of the line for you guys. I'm going to do a different video on coaching because I think it's a topic in college football today that needs to be discussed. There are certain teams that will never come out of obscurity on a consistent basis because they can never keep a coach. But that is going to be a different video that I'm going to do. That was the American Championship game. Tulane gets the job done, beats North Texas, gets into the playoffs. Sun Belt Championship. James Madison beats Troy 31-14. JMU ranked and riding an impressive season. Once again, another team 11-1, 8-0 in Sun Belt play. James Madison putting up points, playing pretty good defense. Good football team. They're another team that has a tall task going into the first round of the playoffs after winning the Sun Belt Championship. They will be playing Oregon in the first round, and then the winner of that game will play Texas Tech. JMU shut out Troy in the second half, preventing any type of comeback. They said, we're going to close the door on this end zone, and you don't get in. That's it. It's over. We came here for a reason, and they actually took care of business. This is JMU's first Sun Belt championship since joining the conference. So that's big for them. Another team that will be losing their coach. It's tough out here, man, in college football. For Troy, the loss ends the season is 8-5, stops their 2025 campaigns, and they just, Troy is Troy. That's just another team that it's almost impossible for them to get out of obscurity. They will have a good season here, they'll have a good season there, and then they just lose their coach. These are not end destinations for a lot of these coaches because the Power Four conferences rule. And even sometimes, even if you're in the Power Four conference like Ole Miss, your coach is not safe. It was JMU's defense that really did the job. They're going to have a tall task in Oregon. So congratulations, JMU, getting into the college football playoff. It's just big, man. So congratulations. ACC championship game. Duke beats number 17 Virginia in overtime. This marks Duke's first outright ACC championship since 1962. There's another coach that just might be leaving. They just lost their previous coach to Texas A&M. That's why I say, even if you're in a Power Four conference, it doesn't matter. Duke is the ACC champ, though. Congratulations to Duke, but they will not be going into the college football playoff. With them winning and with Virginia losing, that made way for Miami to get into the first round of the playoffs and be the representative for the ACC. They'll be playing Texas A&M in a 10 versus 7 seed, and the winner of that will go on to play Ohio State. I really like the brackets this year because this is a good first round matchup. Miami, Texas A&M. This is a very good first round matchup. And I'm definitely here for it. I initially wasn't a big fan of a 12-team playoff, but I like it. I do. Because these are not two teams that you would typically see play each other in the regular season, part of their out-of-conference schedule. We don't get this game too often. So I'm glad that we're going to get it. ACC is wide open. Clemson is no longer dominating that conference. Florida State's not dominating that conference. Miami is not dominating that conference. It is a wide open conference. Down goes BYU. BYU lost to Texas Tech for the second time this season and killed all hopes of getting to the college football playoff. They needed to win this game to get into the college football playoff, and they knew it. But they lose to Texas Tech 34-7. Texas Tech beat them earlier in the season 27-7. This year they just tacked on an extra touchdown. BYU struck first. Opening drive, 90 yards for 14 plays. Finishing with a 10-yard rushing touchdown by L.J. Mark to put them up 7-0. That's it. From that point on, Texas Tech took over the football game. Texas Tech is a good rushing football team. And they're going to be tough to match up with in the playoffs. They get a first round bye. Congratulations to Texas Tech being the Big 12 winners. They will play the winner of the James Madison, Oregon game. For Texas Tech, this is big, man. They went out and spent all that money, brought in all those transfers, and they had to see results. and they got the results that they were looking for. Who says you can't buy championships? Texas Tech just did. With Oklahoma and Texas moving out of the conference, it has been wide open. Is it going to be Iowa State? Is it going to be Texas Tech? Is it going to be TCU? Is it going to be BYU? Is it going to be Utah? Is it going to be Colorado? This is a wide open conference. Texas Tech seems to have taken control of the conference. Let's see if they can string together a couple of more seasons doing such. But that defense, that's a legit defense. And I like the fact that Texas Tech has gone away from throwing the ball all over the place and running the ball more. They really had a balanced attack. Because Barry Morton only threw for 215 yards. And that's not because he had a bad night. It's just that they ran the football. So congratulations, Texas Tech. You're Big 12 champions. SEC championship game. The Georgia Bulldogs throttled Alabama. Stifled their offense all night, wouldn't let them do anything. They controlled the time of possession. They ran the football. They had a hell of a game plan. They played great defense. It wasn't even close. And it has been in previous matchups. Georgia has had an issue with Alabama. But they got the job done this time. Winning the SEC championship game 28-7. Georgia's quarterback, Gunnar Stockton, delivered a strong performance. 20 of 26 passing, 156 yards, and 3 touchdowns. 20 of 26 for 156 yards. If I ever saw that box score, I know that that team ran the football well. And a lot of their passes were off play action, fake, one-on-one situations. Gunnar Stockton's not going out here just lighting it up like crazy, breaking down a zone defense with his great passing. But the coaching staff got them into favorable matchups, and he did what your quarterback's supposed to do. He took advantage of them. Alabama didn't even reach the end zone until the fourth quarter. By that time, it was too late. So Georgia, the winner of the SEC, will get a first-round bye, and they will play the winner of Tulane and Ole Miss. As far as Alabama, they still get into the playoffs. They're the 9 seed. They travel to Norman to play the Oklahoma Sooners, the team they have lost to the previous 2 times. Alabama is actually favored in this game by 1.5 points. Oklahoma's offense has not played well. Their defense has. So they'll be going to Norman against that Rockets crowd and that amazing defense. This win gives Georgia back-to-back SEC championships. Their first consecutive SEC championships since the early 1980s. Because even when they won their national title back-to-back, they weren't SEC champions both years. For Alabama, you wonder, is this your coach? Because even though you're winning and you're getting to the championship game, you don't feel like a championship caliber team. Even when you had certain losses while you had Nick Saban, whether it was Auburn running back a missed field goal or it was Johnny Manziel getting Heisman moments, you still felt like your team was a championship team. This does not feel like championship Alabama. The big game over the weekend, the Big Ten championship game between number 1 Ohio State and number 2 Indiana Hoosiers. Go ahead and flip it. Because Indiana came into the game. They said, we know you have an amazing defense. We're still going to stick to our game plan. We're still going to run the football. Indiana is one of the top rushing teams in the nation. and they get the job done behind running the football and playing great defense. That's what I want my Oklahoma Sooners to do. Run the football and play great defense. Indiana came into the game not having all the 5 stars Ohio State has in Julian Sain and the number one wide receiver in the nation, and this 5 star on the defensive line, and that 5 star at linebacker, and that 5 star at safety, and that cornerback, and these great offensive linemen. They have an amazing roster. But Indiana said, we don't care nothing about that. We're going to come in and we're going to outcoach you and we're going to play football the way football is supposed to be played. And they got the dub. I told you guys in a previous video that Indiana was one of my favorites for going into the playoffs because of the way that they play football. And they got the job done, man. Congratulations to Indiana. 13-10. Defensive clinic. Playing a lot of zone. Bend, don't break. Now, they didn't go in and dominate this football game. But you know what they did do? They shut Ohio State out in the second half. That's what they did. And they played great football the entire game. Their quarterback, Mendoza, he could very well much win the Heisman. This felt like a Heisman game between Julian Sayin and Fernando Mendoza. He was 15 to 23 for 222 yards passing. When I told you guys, when you see around 23 to 25 attempts and that team won the football game, I know they ran the football. I know they did. And that's exactly what they did. At the end of the day, Ohio State missed a field goal. They could chalk it up and say that, but guess what? Indiana missed a field goal too. So we're even. Indiana was just the better football team. In terms of boxing, this game was not a split decision. This was a unanimous win for Indiana. And it was a hell of a football game. If you have not seen that football game, don't just go watch the highlights. Go back and watch the shortened version where they cut out all the commercials and all the fluff. And watch that. It was an amazing game. So that's your Big Ten champion, as well as your Big Ten loser is only number 2. So both of those schools in the Big Ten will get a first round bye. So the first round bye teams are going to be Texas Tech, Georgia, Indiana, and Ohio State. Deservingly so for all 4 of them. Congratulations to those teams. Congratulations to those programs and that fan base. You're going to get James Madison versus Oregon. Just to recap, that winner will go on to play Texas Tech. Then you'll get Alabama at Oklahoma. That team will go on to play Indiana. Tulane at Ole Miss. The winner of that will go on to play Georgia. And then Miami at Texas A&M. A phenomenal first round of games from top to bottom. This is why we love college football. I'm so sad that it's actually almost over with. And they will go on to play the defending champs, Ohio State. Guys, this has been a phenomenal into the season with all the storylines. I don't usually cover recruiting, so I don't typically do too many videos once the season is over. But I promise you, I'm not going to disappear on you this time. You got me the entire off season. We're going to find some content to get out. I got some stuff that I want to do. So thank you guys for continuing to support me, man. I can't say it enough because I'm truly humbled by it, and I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. Like, really. And I plan on giving back once I get to where I'm able to. And that doesn't mean necessarily by making a whole bunch of money on YouTube, have millions of subscribers. I'm gonna give it back before that. So Next year, I plan on doing ticket giveaways and stuff like that. So if you're not subscribed, that would be a good reason to be. Merchandise coming. So it's come full circle, and it's all because of you guys commenting in the videos, liking the videos, subscribing. Because if that didn't happen, then I wouldn't have the drive that I do to do this, and I would just stop. But you guys keep the show rolling, man, because you request it. You tell me I'm your favorite channel, so it just makes me want to work harder for you, man. Love all of you guys. Until next time, Boomer.